Hello, everyone, and welcome to another House of Trust Live. This is a special edition. As you can tell, I'm doing the opening. I have the honor today to be in the interviewer seat, and I have a very special guest with me. Today, we're joined by none other than Stefan Kanalga, the CEO and face of Yeswetrust. And we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, Yeswetrust itself, and faith. So, why am I here? Well, I recently joined the Yeswetrust team to support the growth and development of the School of Impact and beyond the whole mission of Yeswetrust, because I truly just fell in love with it. The moment I got connected with the team, I was like, yes, I want to be a part of this. And I've known Stefan for many years, actually. We met back in 2018, round about that time when I was just starting my company in the Web3 space at that time in Switzerland. And from the moment we connected, I just felt his passion and his entrepreneurial spirit. I was like, it's amazing what you're doing. And so kind of stayed in touch over the years. But then last year, I really saw what Yeswetrust was doing, and we got reconnected through fate, through faith, and on this journey, learning more about the mission of Yeswetrust, I was like, this is such an amazing journey that you have planned here, and a mission to, and a movement to really change things in the world. And I do believe you have the power to do so. And so I had to just join and be a part of it. And so, yeah, joined the growth and development department, and super excited to just talk more with Stefan so that we learn a little bit more about the person behind the business. So first of all, welcome everyone, and welcome Stefan. How are you?
Thank you, Uma, and thank you for this wonderful introduction. It's a special feeling to be on the other side of the table, to not to
Yes,
be the moderator, but the one on the hot seat. So excited about today's conversation.
amazing. So yeah, it's really a long journey that you've been on. You started Yeswetrust in, I believe, 2013, right? Something like that. 13 years ago. 13 years of entrepreneurship. And before that, if I recall, I believe you worked for around 5 years in a corporate job in the Swiss banking system. So what a journey that has been. And I do want to talk about the journey of your company, of Yeswetrust, what you've been through. But before we get there, I'm just really curious, and I think many people watching who maybe don't know you personally so much are curious about the person behind the business. So maybe take us to your beginning. Like, what is the earliest memory that you have of just being an entrepreneur in general? Did you always kind
Mm.
of know that you wanted to have a company? Is that something that you were born with, or is it something that kind of developed later on?
Mhm. I mean, my dad was an
Mm.
entrepreneur. He was selling cars, and my mom was the brain behind the business. And I made my first money cleaning cars of my father's car park. I think every car $25 when I was 10, 11 years. And he had like 50, 60 cars. So I was cleaning a lot of cars on Saturday, Sunday, and earning my first money. And seeing my dad as an entrepreneur definitely inspired me. Then going to school in Switzerland, I always somehow felt like in the Truman Show. I always felt like the fish on a tree. I didn't saw reason or meaning in the school. I didn't saw it in my apprenticeship at Allianz Insurance. I didn't saw it later on when I was working in banking and finance. Somehow I still was missing purpose and a higher meaning. I mean, we get educated that success means having a car, having a house, making a lot of money, but somehow it was not fulfilling. And yeah, but as so often, you just continue to function in the hamster wheel. And for me, it was always clear there must be more out, right? And yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you kind of did what the normal route is, what people are used to. And I think a lot of people um, aren't aware, at least the newer generation, that 10 years ago, the term even entrepreneur was not as glamorous as it is today, right? It was going to completely against the grain, and it was considered very high risk, a very high risk path. Um,
Mhm.
so another question, I mean, that comes to mind is what gave you the confidence in yourself, thinking that you could do it? Is that something that also like your father instilled in you?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, today we see that entrepreneurship is celebrated and promoted as this sexy, cool
Mm-hmm.
thing, traveling, freedom, work from wherever, whenever you want. But the reality is different. I believe not everyone is made to be an
Mm,
entrepreneur. I believe that the dark moments, the rock bottom, are not shown on social media. And it's a tough journey to be an entrepreneur with a lot of pressure and uncertainty. And for me, it was the moment when one of my mentoring coaches got cancer with 52 and he passed after 3 months.
mm,
That shaked my world, and then I was like, okay, Steph, either you're gonna stay until 65 in corporate and just follow the way, or you're gonna find your real purpose and meaning in life. So I quitted my job, apartment, relationship after 8 years, and started to ask God, who am I? What's my purpose
mm,
in life? Is there more than just making money? Was I confident? I don't know. But there is this beautiful saying that founders need a certain level of to be de-illusional. I mean, if I would have knew 10 years ago what for a journey I would go through the last 10 years, I'm not sure if I would have started, right?
mm.
But because I was believing we're going to change the world in a year, I was somehow
Mm.
confident and walking, right. Looking back, it was a long and tough journey, and today I can call it my golden nuggets. And yeah.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. You know, being an entrepreneur myself since an early age, it's kind of you think, oh, I'm going to do this, and in a year I'm going to be there. But then years and years pass, and you start to understand, wow, this entrepreneurship journey is definitely different. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of dedication, and what you mentioned, purpose. You know, to really know what you're doing this for. And you also mentioned some like dark moments. So like were there moments that you really wanted to give up? And when you did, like what got you through that? Who's like were there people or thoughts? What is the something that really supported you through those hard moments, challenging times?
Mhm. Hmm. There were many moments where I was close to giving up or reaching the end point. And I think what kept me running is faith, faith in God,
Mm,
that there is something, somebody guiding me. And somehow it was a funny way. I mean, God uh, allows to bring you to your limits and beyond, and that's how you grow in a relationship with Him, right? So somehow, when things are going well, you maybe think more about, hey, these are the things I can create out of myself, and I'm strong and I'm confident and whatever. But in the darkest of your darkest moments, this is when you need God the most. And so what it teach me is that I can always rely on Him, and that He's telling me today, yo, Steph, I helped you through these moments. I'm gonna help you again. Don't stress out. Don't overthink. Don't overcomplicate. Just trust. But sometimes this word trust or surrender is so easy spoken out, but to live it is a different level. And definitely, I had a lot of support from people who believed in me, and people who stepped in, who supported me. And yeah, that was one of
mm.
the crucial things.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. And I love that you so openly talk about your faith. I think it's something that not many leaders necessarily do is, you know, you might have faith and then you have business, but that you're really not just living it separately, but you're connecting them and talking about it. Why?
Hmm. If there is a creator of the universe and he is the creator of everything that exists, also the creator of us, the one who makes a heartbeat happen in the body of a woman when a child is born, I think then all he wants is recognition and love.
Mm,
I mean, same as humans, deep down, we all want attention and love. So what does God really want? He wants attention and love from us because he gave us a free will. And so why bringing faith into business, or why talking about faith?
mhm,
Uh, that's my personal way of achieving and building Yeswetrust. And no matter in what you believe in and what your faith is, I love and respect you. And I think it's about understanding and the level of consciousness to see that we have 8 billion different humans, 8 billion different unique relationships with the creator of the universe. And I think there is beauty in sharing our ways and views to inspire others. And the other reason is my grandfather. I mean, my grandfather is until today one of my biggest role
Mm,
models. He was an entrepreneur, he was a priest, and but he was supporting and empowering hundreds of families in Switzerland, and he was a leader, he was a servant, a person, and there for many families when they had issues. So that inspired me from young age to think beyond profit. And yeah, what does it what does a human gain if he gains the whole world? And Steve Jobs had this beautiful saying, "What does it serve me to be the richest man in the graveyard?" So
mm,
what is beyond wealth in a monetary sense, right? And we live in a world where I see that people are seeking truth and depth and peace. And I believe that this peace doesn't come from entrepreneurial success, but from spiritual success or spiritual growth.
yeah, that's beautiful. And it reminds me of the Yes We Trust Faith Club shared a video where you interviewed Bishop Mari, and he also talks about that it's not about wealth being bad or the pursuit of wealth, but it's about stewardship, right? What do you do with it? And so it
Yes.
and that's also what I find so interesting, the way you approach it is not necessarily to say, yeah, we don't want to create vehicles that produce monetary gains. Like we're not thinking in terms of just nonprofit. Like we do profit is something that is good, but it's like what do you do with it, right? So yeah, what has would you say like changed when you invited faith into your leadership?
Mhm. Maybe to clarify, the Yes We Trust
Mm-hmm.
entity is a for-profit company. And we have stakeholders, shareholders, we have products, we generate revenue, and it's about to be a profitable company. Money is
Mm,
energy, and with energy, you have power, and with power, you can create good in the world. So the goal with the company, Yes We Trust, is to be a multi-billion dollar company and generate hundreds of millions where this money can be deployed for
mm,
good, not for charity, yes, part for charity, but also to fund startups, to
yeah.
empower humans, step out and create valuable ventures. So I think there is a misconception about being spiritual and faithful and being wealthy. In my view, it's not contrary. And so there is the business aspect of Yes We Trust, where we welcome people from all nations and religions. I mean, look at Yes We Trust today. We have people from all different kinds of religions and nations, and we are welcoming and we don't judge, we don't label. I think it's important to accept that every human can believe in whatever they believe in. At the same time, I think it's important that I can also speak out and live out my faith,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is what we do in the Faith Club, where it's purely focused on faith. And I see this beautiful bridge how we include faith into business and bring um, valuable how should I say bring valuable lessons into
Mm.
business.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. And if we go maybe a little bit deeper, now you already touched on it on Yes We Trust, and what is it that you're building that you're so passionate about that you've been building for years? There's
Mhm.
different products, right? There's the Yes We Trust ecosystem, and like you mentioned, there's the Faith Club, but then there's also the School of Impact, the Impact Accelerator. So let's start maybe with like in one sentence, if you had to describe Yes We Trust, what is Yes We Trust?
Mhm.
And then we can go into yeah, maybe the different parts of the Yes We Trust ecosystem.
If I had to describe Yes You Trust in as few words as possible, I would say it's about connecting purpose with capital.
Mm,
And if I would use more words, then I would say the one sentence logline that we teach people in the Impact Accelerator. And I would say in a world where 85% of the people who are employed are unsatisfied, and 45%, nearly every second millennial, is seeking more purpose, more impact, more freedom. We have developed an ecosystem where we connect aspiring founders and established founders with capital, and we do this in a where we meet as humans first. Yeah, there is a digital platform people can connect, but at the same time, it's about physical events, physical interactions where people can meet, and then beautiful relationships happen, fundraising happen, and so it's just it's a it's a it's a human component to the VC capital startup world.
Yeah, I think that summarizes it well. And then if you think about the journey within Yes We Trust, so if someone's coming right now and they're not really building anything and they don't really know where to start, like what would be the good starting point to still, get into the Yes We Trust ecosystem and maybe connect with the right people?
Right. I see three different entry points in Yeswetrust. Top down, it's the investors network, the members club, people who have achieved success, financial business success, and they genuinely want to give back. I mean, we have so many of these people in our network who say, hey, Steph, yes, I'm keen to create profit through the startups I invest in. But for me, it's also about the human connection and interaction. I really want to give back and empower and inspire and educate the generation. And this is the members club of Yes We Trust. And investors say, hey, cool, Steph, you present us vetted projects, projects who are purposeful and impactful. So that's the first entry point from top down. Then I would say we have the Impact Accelerator that is for established founders. Their main pain point is fundraising. And as an outcome of the 8 weeks course, they get listed on our deal matchmaking platform. They can win a physical pitch slot at the upcoming House of Trust event, and that they learn from mentors and teachers who guide them through the 8 weeks in different areas. Might be leverage, might be supply, might be marketing, might be fundraising, communication skills, negotiation skills, pitch skills. And this is somehow what a burning fire is in my heart, Uma. When I started Yes We Trust 10 years ago, I didn't have a lot of people who believed in me. I mean, my own family, my whole environment was doubting me. Steph, go back to business. Don't waste your time. You're not capable. That's not possible. And until we have reached a certain level 5, 6 years ago, when people started to realize, now there is a deep fire in my heart. I love to believe in young founders and their crazy ideas, and I want to be the first one who empowers them, supports them, and through our network of capital, network, and mentors, we can do that. So when I would had access to the Impact Accelerator, I would have wasted less money, time, and energy, and would have made way less mistakes. So it's all about sharing your experience with the next generation of entrepreneurs. And then the third entry point is the School of Impact. Let's say that's Uma, that's Steph, stuck 9 to 5, let's say between 13 and 35 years, who want to have more purpose, more impact, more freedom. They are employed, they are studying, but they want more from life, right? And there we talk to people who have maybe not found their purpose or project yet, and they can join another 8 weeks course. It's about identity, it's about ikigai, finding purpose, it's about cultivating positive habits, and make the first baby steps to become an entrepreneur, but more so to become the best version of yourself. Because our goal is not just to shape the next generation of entrepreneurs, but healthy, impactful entrepreneurs. And so somehow I see it as a upward spiral. I see the North Star. These are the investors and the mentors. And the aspiring founders and the established founders look up and say, wow, one day I want to be like Alan or Marcus or Bogdan or whoever, right? And they can become them through the courses that we offer. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that the journey you just described it's just showing that really whatever stage you're at, Yes We Trust is here to empower and to shape you into that next, give you access to or bring you to that next level wherever you want to get to. And yeah,
Mhm.
at the same time, while learning from the lessons, you're also gaining the wisdom and the knowledge from, and basically you're getting time, right? The valuable lessons that took us 10, 20 years for some of the entrepreneurs in your network to learn. and you're getting like firsthand access. And I do think there is a disconnect right now in the world where everyone's kind of bombarded with information online. And yes, you can, of course, as you know, many people did, is become an entrepreneur yourself and just go on YouTube, go on the internet, and you find your way. And there's so many opportunities and ways. But as the internet has grown and just we're getting more and more, it's an information overload. I
Mm,
think it's also very hard nowadays for people to discern what is real, what is not, what's the right path for me as well, right? They see someone
mm,
talking about the next drop shipping thing and then the next whatever it is, you know, course, the next this, the next that, and people love collecting courses and just getting more information. But the other part is to actually go there and do it. And that's where we say, it's not just about building the business, but about becoming the person,
mhm,
right? So one
mhm,
aspect that I really love about, what we're building is it's not just about not only business. Yes, business is important, but the first
mm,
angle is kind of personal development. And some people are like, yeah,
mhm,
I want to skip the mindset part and go straight to the money. But it's like as you progress and you are in your entrepreneurship journey, you learn like how crucial having the right mindset, your own personal growth is directly correlated to your business growth. And so yeah, maybe you can talk a little bit about that as well, like the personal journey, like as you were building and growing the company, like what has changed, for you
mm.
personally, and the mental health aspects of it as well.
Definitely. I would say one of the
Mm,
crucial factors that I've made it so far in the journey of Yeswetrust is personal
mm,
development. I mean, you start to build and you think about it's about achieving a certain level or stage, but then you realize along the journey it was about becoming. And one of the key things was the morning routine that I found through the 5 a.m. club, Miracle Morning, and all these different books that exist. And I just realized how crucial it is to have positive habits, to wake
mm.
up, to not touch the phone in the first hour, to pray, to meditate, to make a gratitude exercise, to visualize, to work out, to drink water. And this is really the fuel to be long term healthy and successful. I mean, Uma, how many founders do you know who have sacrificed their health for success? And
Many, including myself. And I can say from my own experience, it's not worth it. Um, because, and this is the thing, right? You only really value something once it, not always, but a lot of times we only value something when we don't have it. But I think anyone can relate. Like right now I have a cold, so you can hear my cold, and I'm like, praying to God saying, well, if I can only breathe through my nose, like I don't need anything else, I'm happy. And, you know, then you
yes.
can breathe again and you start taking it for granted. And so we
Mhm,
really don't understand how important health is, and why health is
mhm.
even above wealth and all these other things. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. You can't take care of your mission, you can't be a leader. So it's so important, and I love that you're putting such an emphasis on it. For the habits, you mentioned a lot of them. I mean, yeah, nowadays we have, the 5 a.m. morning routine. You take the ice bath, you do this, you do that. This is your millionaire
Mhm,
morning routine. If we can
mhm.
give something for people who are watching this that are like a little bit overwhelmed with just every day, it feels like you need to add something new to your routine. What
Mhm.
would you say, if you can even, categorize it like that, but three core habits that you would say are truly what have helped you to become the entrepreneur that you are, and to build this life and to build this business? Like if you had to, yeah, just pick three out of all the amazing habits, which are the ones you would say you can recommend, or you would recommend to your younger self?
Yes, I mean, first of all, I think we can't generalize it,
Mm-hmm.
Uma. I would say we are different human beings and different things apply to every human being. So, and that's also the beauty of the 7 days peak energy protocol that we have
Mm,
developed. It's not about at the end of the course to say, hey, this is the way how you should do it. No, we give you all the different tools and figure out, create your own unique energy peak protocol. So I think it's dangerous thing to say, hey, this is the way how you should do it. But what we can do is we can share our own. And if you would ask me, as you did, what are the three things that helped you the most? Then I would say working out in the morning,
Mm.
prayer, and being intentional with my time. I mean, we have 24 hours a day, and to really focus on the things that bring you further or closer to your vision and eliminate everything else that doesn't bring you closer to that.
Yeah, time management and really being aware of that, and then also grounding yourself in purpose. Yeah,
Mhm.
because just because you brought up the praying again, it makes me think you often say like Jesus is the CEO of your business and the leader of your family. Um,
Mhm.
can you maybe explain to people like what does that mean in a practical way for you, and yeah, why does it matter?
Mhm. I mean, as part of the School of Impact, we have the identity course, right?
Mhm.
So, who are you, Uma? Who am I? Are we creating everything by ourselves, or is there a higher anchor
Mm.
that we anchor ourselves in? And I know today that I cannot do one step forward without my faith. I fully depend on God, and might be relationship wise with my wife, might be in being a father for Isaiah and Leon, might be leading the company of Yeswetrust. So I would say my dependency created the sentence that Jesus is the CEO of Yeswetrust and the head of my family. And I think it's something beautiful that you give responsibility away in a positive way. And still, as a man, I lead the family. As CEO, I lead Yes We Trust. But there is something higher than me, and that also humbles you. And I think that was the message that I received last year the most. It was like, humble yourself,
Mm.
humble yourself. And today I can speak out, Uma, that all the good things in my life are through my faith, and there is nothing I can be proud of.
It's amazing to hear that because yeah, I mean, I've been through a similar journey where in the beginning stages you're like this young entrepreneur just eager to achieve things, and then you achieve things and yeah, you still don't feel fulfilled and something is missing. And so now rebuilding on this newfound foundation, where you realize you're part of something bigger, and that it's not just that you have purpose in terms of your talents, your gifts, your calling, and what you should be doing and giving to the world, but your purpose is already being alive and being so loved and finding that peace and fulfillment without any external achievement. And one thing I will add to that as well is what I've realized, and maybe you can attest to that, is when you when you stop trying so much to achieve something, automatically you become a lot more magnetic to achievements and to progress. Why? Because there's no resistance. If you're constantly trying, it means there's a force. And when you're forcing, there's a resistance, right? So, whatever your anchor is that you talk about, and this is part of the curriculum as well, right? About anchoring your identity and whether that is you resonate with, the Christian belief and with Jesus, but that you have an anchor that is outside of you. Because if you're chaos internally, right, and you're everywhere and you feel like you're not really getting the clarity you need, you're not getting forward in life, and then anchoring yourself to that usually doesn't really solve the problem. And so, yeah, that external anchor that you talk about, I think that has been probably a big shift for you and the business. Um,
Mhm.
and
Uh,
yeah,
may- maybe to add here, I mean, if you want to say it more from a scientific, biological way, I mean, Uma, we are how much? 75, 80%
yeah.
water, our body. And I believe we are. It's all about frequency, and we constantly radiate on a certain frequency,
Yeah.
right? And if you are in lack, fear, survivor mode, you radiate a different frequency than if you are in peace, abundance, and love, right? And I think the big shift is, imagine you have immense pressure, and I want to share an example. The first House of Trust event we did in Davos, the venue is roughly 150,000 Swiss francs for 5 days, and we didn't have the money for it to realize it.
Hmm.
But I still signed the agreement, and I had 20 days time to deliver the rent for the venue, or the venue would be gone and we would still own the money. So I had massive pressure. And the challenge in this moment is, despite the fact that you're maybe going to pay a lot of money and you're going to lose the venue, that you shift your frequency from fear and stress
To
to
faith.
abundance, to faith, abundance, and love. And this is the biggest challenge, I would
Yeah.
say, to really shift actively your frequency and thoughts from fear to trust, or fear to faith, however you want to call it. And that enables you to then attract the right people, the right circumstances, and the things that needs to be unlocked.
Mm. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's just, if you're just applying common sense, it's like, yeah, okay, that definitely makes sense. What would you say if you were talking about some mistakes or lessons? Would you like to share maybe like just to make it more practical for people? Because we talk about, yeah, there's challenges and lessons and mistakes. And you just mentioned one where basically, your leap of faith, where you sign something before knowing how it's going to come in. So that optimism, I
Mhm,
think, is a huge trait also for the majority of entrepreneurs. Is there like a specific moment or a mistake, maybe, an expensive mistake, something that really comes to mind where you feel like, oof, that was a really probably one of the hardest moments, like a make or
mhm,
break kind of moment?
mhm. There are many, and maybe to highlight some of them. The first one is leadership, leading a
Mm,
team. In the journey of 10 years, Yes, We Trust, I think three times we built up a team up to 7, 8, 10, 12 people, and the team broke apart.
mm,
And it happens three times. And I would say that's because in the past of my lack of leadership skills. Number two, because the team members were not deeply rooted and aligned on the purpose and mission of Yes We Trust. And so that's one thing, to work on yourself, to be able to lead a team and to attract the right people for the deep reason of the existence of your company.
mm,
Uh, and not just, hey, the best qualified human being that you can. Yeah, that would be one. Secondly, we spend a lot of money and 14 months to create a security token and tokenized shares of the company. A lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of resources went into that. Looking back today, it was a waste of energy and time and resources. If I could go back, I would have invested all this resources and time and energy into building community,
mm,
because technology is an enabler. And I believe that the most successful companies today are communities, that people really love the product, love the culture. And so that was one big learning. Tech is important, but more important, build a community. And yeah, I think these are the two most ones.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Like a lot of times people are so focused on the product or on the latest technology and forget that the most important part is culture and community.
Mhm,
When you have the brand building, the culture that you're creating down, and you have people who are aligned with it, anything that you're bringing out into the world is gonna have that drive sort of. So to build that first, how would you say that those, I guess, mistakes or failures helped you to maybe to become a better leader?
hmm. I mean, Uma, the most beautiful humans we meet in our lives are the ones who went through a lot of failure, pain, and darkness, right? It shapes
Mm,
us. It shapes our character. So today I can look back and say I'm grateful for all the things that I've experienced in my life. Um, how specifically? You don't repeat these mistakes, right?
mm,
You see the situation and you evaluate anew. Is this another situation where I'm gonna tap in the same, or am I gonna do it differently? So I think it's just the experience that stays,
yeah.
and that just makes you wiser.
And a follow-up question that comes to my mind is, you know, as an entrepreneur, you've said it, you've been at those breaking moments where it's like, I don't really know how to keep going. Is this the right path? So if someone who's watching this is kind of in that situation, who's maybe has a project, has a company where they've invested a lot, um, do you, how do I phrase this? When do you know to keep going? When do you know to you need to adjust the path? And when do you know when to call it quits? And
Oof.
that's a tough one. I was just thinking about this because I've been in that situation, but yeah, I'm really curious to hear if you feel like
Tough one.
there's a way to know or how what made you keep going. But I think you've
Mhm,
adjusted the approach, maybe
mhm.
not the mission, but the approach. I'm not sure.
Yeah, tough one. I mean, there is this beautiful picture where the guy is looking for a diamond, and he just quits before the diamond
Yeah.
mountain is close to him, right? So I believe persistence is one of the key characteristics of a successful founder, to not give up. And this is one of the things that the most successful entrepreneurs have in common, right? So on one side, to be persistent. On the other hand, the market. I think one of the also big learnings of my journey was, don't build a product out of your mind. Go to the market, and the market tells you what they want, the customers, right? And so, I mean, we had one big pivot in Yeswetrust, where it was one of the most difficult things to kill the Yeswetrust app that we invested a few 100,000 and years of development and resources into it, right? But sometimes you have to let go, or you're gonna continue to waste energy, time, and resources into something that doesn't lead you to success. So it's a thin line between persistency and being able to realize that you're on the wrong track. How to? Difficult
Do
question.
you think you go more by gut feeling in general or by like thinking about it for a long time or consulting with maybe mentors and other people?
I would say last
Hmm.
one. It's about having the right mentors, investors, advisors around you who can give you critical inputs from the side. Because sometimes, as a founder, you are such a rabbit
Yeah.
hole, or in such a tunnel,
Yeah.
that you maybe sometimes don't observe things that are obvious for others.
Yeah.
So definitely, outside perceptions can be super relevant.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, I think consulting others that have kind of walked your path, and then just going also back to that, I think that topic of purpose and knowing your why, right? Like, why are you doing this? Um, do you feel like that why has kind of been consistent throughout your journey,
Mhm.
or has that changed?
Oof, let's go deep. The most beautiful founders are the ones who took their pain and transformed it into something positive for themselves and others, right? What are my biggest pain points? I mean, and what led me to build the SE Trust? I had a difficult childhood with a lot of abusement and fear and guilt and doubt. And the first time I stood on a stage, Find Your Flow event in Basel with Dr. Joe Dispenza, Deepak Chopra from Pablo's Italy, and a friend, my knees were shaking when I was pitching Yes We Trust or presenting Yes We Trust. So I was like, whoa, something is wrong. And I started to heal myself by hypnosis, by going into my childhood. And today I can speak about it. And I think it's an important thing to inspire, especially men, also women, but especially men who are always strong, don't talk about feelings, to heal, because then we're going to be more compassionate. We're going to be better leaders. We're going to be better servants. So it was my own healing journey that somehow inspired me to build the SE Trust. And yeah, secondly, the realization that there are not many people out there who believe in you if you have an idea. So I wanted to be the person for others who supports them and believes in them if they want to build something. And last but not least, my father built an empire of cars, and he was super successful. And but he never got enough. Somehow it was always more, always more, always more. And at the end, he lost everything. He lost the marriage with my mom. He lost the wealth, the money, the success, whatever. And so there is a deep motivation in my heart to make people free from running behind money. I believe, or when I see the future, I see people not chasing money anymore, but they are living a life of purpose where they can wake up, they are fulfilled. I mean, just let's think about it, Uma. What is the next logical human evolutionary step? Are we becoming more and more isolated and live in scarcity, and we're going to just function in the system? Or are we reaching a level where humanity is living in abundance, where humans have time to think about purpose and meaning, where every human being is his own power plant and everyone is contributing something meaningful for humanity and society, might be through art, through entrepreneurship, through sport, whatever, right? So I just see potential for humankind, how life could be on earth. And sometimes I'm wondering, why are we not there yet? Why are we still living, spending 40, 50, 60 years to chase money, right? And just to be our whole life in survival mode. And we have possibilities. We have more and more workspaces replaced through technology. So I really wish to make people financially free, and I think it starts in the mind. I think also financial freedom starts spiritual, while being spiritually free, and then it manifests into reality. So these are my 2 3 big drivers that led me to build the Yeswetrust.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot there that I totally feel you on. So, for one, it's kind of turning pain into purpose, and then transmuting that and finding a bigger why, and really finding your place in this world as to, what is it that I'm meant to do with this. And I think that is huge because a lot of people go through pains and through painful lessons in life. And you can either choose to kind of just move on with your life and are like, yeah, you can either stay in victim mentality, or you can also just say, yeah, it's something that I went through, and not put a deeper meaning into it. But maybe that
Mhm.
is your story, your what inspires other people, and where you can connect with other people. And I mean, Stefan, from how I know you, you have this incredible gift of being able to connect with people. Like, it doesn't really matter who it is, but you're a connector and a builder. But it's really that your network of people that value you as a person. And um, yeah, that's actually another question I had is in my mind as well, is because you've had so many years of not only building Yeswetrust, but also kind of building this incredible network of incredible
Mhm.
people, that are not just high net worth individuals, but also just incredible human beings, that you've
Mhm.
had the ability to cultivate like a as your network. Um,
Mhm.
for someone who's starting out, like, how important is that network? And what would you
Mhm.
say? Is it more important, like, who you know or what you know? Like, where should you start?
When we started Yes with Trustoma, it was let's go worldwide application, millions of people, and then the pivot happened, and the pivot was quality over
Mm,
quantity, right? I believe a small but powerful network is much more effective than a broad network with just random people that you bring together. So what I really love is connecting the dots. And when I speak out connecting the dots, then it's not just a random match, but it's like a super match where somebody I feel like, wow, if these two people meet, then wow, XYZ in a big way will happen. So I love to connect the dots. And whenever I speak with somebody in my mind, it's like there is something happening. And I open up weekly 10, 15, 20 WhatsApp group chats where I just connect the right people. And I would say that's one of my superpowers. And I believe God plants in every heart gifts, superpowers. And one of the things that I also really love is this ikigai concept, right? That we're going to teach in the School of Impact. I love to think about, hey, what is a real world problem? What are you good at? What is your God given superpower? How can you create a business out of it? Because at the end of the day, you also want to be self sustain yourself and also with money support others. And what do you really love? And so yeah, it was a clear, active decision to shift from worldwide community, people that you don't know that use your platform to a small, curated, filtered platform and community.
Hmm.
And that was the main shift. The end goal of Yeswetrust is still the same since the beginning, just the path changed because I wanted to be more effective.
And can you again, I know you already said what Yes We Trust is in one sentence, but what would you say is the end goal or the bigger mission of Yes We Trust?
The end goal is that we have millions of people breaking out from nine to
Mm.
five, live a life of purpose, create something meaningful for humanity and society, to have an updated education system for our kids, a world school, a worldwide community of like minded people who genuinely love and trust each other in this high paced transactional digital world where people are lonely, and create the hubs around the world, like the one in Copenhagen, where we can live an alternative lifestyle and continue to be free.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, what a beautiful mission. And I think you're doing everything in your power. And I do believe that with the right people, like you say, you can be exclusive and keep that. Oh, hello. You're back. You're like in and out. You can keep that exclusivity while still opening the gates for everyone, right? So it's the balance of saying we want to reach millions, but at the same time we want to make sure that whoever comes through the doors, it's there. There is a level of intimacy, and it's not just, you know, another big platform, but it's like you're becoming part of a family, of a movement, of something where we're all sharing similar values and yeah, have like the same, I guess, value, moral compass of what we want to see in the world, how we see the world shaped. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned your role as a father as well. You have two beautiful, amazing boys, and just wondering how that role as a father, because I can imagine I do not yet have the honor of knowing what that feels like, but with kids as well, being an entrepreneur. From what I see, and I have to say, this inspires me so much seeing you and your family kind of travel and live this freedom lifestyle, even though most people say, well, once you have kids, then like your life is over and you know, you can't do anything anymore. And I do, of course, understand it's different for everyone. Some people are in other situations. You know, you're very blessed in that way that you have, you know, your partner, you're working together as well. But yeah, maybe you can talk a little bit about that as well for people who are like feel like they have maybe family and feel a bit stuck and it's because of the responsibilities as well.
Mm. I mean, just today I took Isaiah, who is 4, to my meetings. So Isaiah was today with me at my meetings, and I wanna highlight that I believe it's about reclaiming back our responsibility when it comes to educating our kids or
Hmm.
seeing our kids grow up as self-loving, self-actualized human beings. And I believe there is no other better education out there than having Yesaya listening to these conversations, coming to these meetings, observing the topics and how people talk and negotiate. So I think that's the best education, to walk the talk. And I mean, since Isaiah and Leon are 2 weeks old, we are traveling. And I think it's also about breaking limiting beliefs. How often do you hear, oh, once you have kids, life ends, or oh, once you have kids, you can't travel anymore, or oh, now I have responsibility and I can't follow my dreams and goals in life anymore. I think that's a misconception that is promoted widely. And it's really about breaking through limiting beliefs. What people tell you is not possible. So we decided actively that our kids will not go to the traditional education system. I mean, the School of Impact will be later on developed for kids, so they can become entrepreneurs or artists or whatever they want, and to for parents to be not stuck in one place because the obligation of school. And yeah, I think it's important to have a partner who is aligned with you, who shares the same value, the same way of approach of educating kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, a huge topic for many, and some already have made their decision, or others are, you know, still before that chapter. So would you agree? I heard someone say that like the or multiple people say big entrepreneurs on podcasts and such that the biggest decision in your life is like the partner that you choose. Would you agree with that? Is that more important than certain like smaller business decisions or yeah, what you choose? How
Definitely.
important is it?
I would say your partner, as a man, your wife will halve your wealth or she will multiply it.
Mm. There's no in between.
No in between.
Wow, okay. It's an interesting one. So yeah, she's your multiplier, or I don't know what the opposite is. Yeah, she divides it.
Mhm.
Interesting one. Um, and working together, because that I think is also an interesting topic, especially as you're starting out and like let's say you have this entrepreneurial spirit, but you don't really have a lot of people around you, or you don't maybe know, where to start. Do you feel like you always need a co-founder? And then also, how is it bringing in, I mean, you work with your spouse, also you've worked with friends and have a very like yeah, family like environment, which I've also known, but I feel like it's almost a rarity, and a lot of people say yeah, you should never do that, and you should separate it. But how do you view that?
Hmm. I mean, a reality check. Laura and myself, we work sometimes Monday till Sunday. We speak until late in the evenings about business. And I think it's about structure. And I think with having one child, two child, more kids, things start to become more challenging. But I think really it's about to know, a okay, on one side I'm a father, on the other side I'm a husband, on the other side I'm leading Yeswetrust, and then I should also have time for myself and family and friends. So it's really about setting priorities, structuring. And when I started Yeswetrust, I felt like a lonely wolf. I
Mm,
often felt uh, going by myself alone through this journey, and I often wished a co-founder. On the other hand, I'm hearing people saying, "Oh, I have challenges with my co-founder. I'm pushing, and he's just somehow on the sideline." So somehow it was good to be alone for a certain period of time. And then when the decision came that Laura and myself, we got into a relationship, and she quitted her job, somehow naturally she started to be engaged. And I love her mindset about, I mean, she was leading a healthcare praxis in Switzerland. And so she has this management, operational skills that I don't have. I'm the crazy visionary and the leader. So together we are a powerful team, same as my mom and dad were. He was this car seller, and my mom was the brain and the operations. And I think that's a beautiful thing to have a partner you can build an empire with. Uh, just important to be in a healthy balance between personal life and business. But in our case, sometimes it's just mixed.
And I think sometimes it's also to not put too much pressure maybe on yourself to always have balance. I feel like it's so unrealistic. Like if I remember when I was starting in my entrepreneurial journey, like there was no balance. And it's okay for certain periods. We shouldn't like glamorize the hustle culture too
Mm,
much, but I think at the same time we also shouldn't glamorize the balance or say that you always have to be in balance. Like it's normal to fall out of balance, right? But it's like knowing how to maybe get back to that,
mm,
having those healthy habits. And
mm.
yeah,
Maybe to add that here, I think everything in nature changes. We have winter, fall, spring, right? Uh,
yeah.
and we are part of nature. And what I'm realizing is you have phases of high pressure and stress and hustle mode, and then you have phases where it's more relaxed and more balanced. I mean, hosting the events in Davos on the biggest world stage is always a 8 months preparation phase where we are fully in preparation and execution mode. And then the 5 days come, and it's like a marathon, it's like a festival that you host with thousands of people and thousands of expectations. And then after Davos, we have a more calmer phase where we are in Thailand, and we can recharge and recover from the last months. So I believe we are part of nature, and we should accept the phases in life. and sometimes it's more stressful, and sometimes it's more calm.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about the events, can you talk a little bit about the Yes We Trust events and upcoming events? What is planned for the next months to come for Yes We Trust?
Yes, so our most recent event is happening in a week, 10, 11, 12 of July in Portugal, in Cascais, where we bring another highly selected group of high net worth individuals, founders, and funders together, flying in from all over the world. And so this is happening now in Cascais and Ericeira, 10, 11, 12 of July. And our concept is simple. Day one, don't talk about business. Cold plunge, sauna, paddle tournament, hiking, barbecue, nature, beautiful activities where we meet as humans first. And then day two, back to business, different type of conversation, pitches, presentations. And the beauty out of it is once you allow people to meet as humans first, people can decide and say, hey, this is a human being I deeply resonate with. One of the investors I met recently, he was like, Steph, I only do investments with people when I see a call from them at 2, 3 a.m. and I'm happy to take a call from them. I don't feel annoyed, right? So founders, investors are also humans, and we can choose with who we want to have a real relationship with. So it's really about to create a space where people can meet each other, share shared experiences, and then they too figure out, hey, okay, how can we collaborate? How can we be valuable for each other on the business side? And this is how beautiful relationships are merged and created. So we have these events quarterly happening always when a cohort of the Impact Accelerator ends, because then the best projects are selected to come and pitch at the Physical House of Trust. And then we have our flagship event. It happens once a year in Davos during the World Economic Forum, and there it's more like a festival where we cover every day a specific topic. Monday impact, Tuesday health, Wednesday technology, on Thursday the future of education. And yeah, there are some plans happening right now that we potentially will host a bigger summit in October in Cyprus. These are things that we're gonna unveil once it's nailed. And yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, what a cool event series. And it's really what Yes We Trust is known for is yeah, these just transformational events. You go there and you feel the energy of the room. And so I actually think probably one of the best ways, and I'm excited because well, the first one I'm attending is going to be in Portugal. Yeah, we're flying out end of this week. So super excited. We're going to be there with the team for a little bit. And then, yeah, we're having the event from the 10th until the 12th. And I believe there's still the option, right? If somebody is in Lisbon, the area, to come and join us. If you're
Right.
an investor, founder. So,
I mean, we are pretty set. I would say 1, 2 persons more
mhm.
that we can invite, and yeah, it's interesting. You do the job by curating and filtering, and you select the most promising startups and scale ups, but also from the investor side. But it's always this moment when we are in the room with the people, and I look around and say, okay, wow, God, now everything makes sense, you know?
Mm,
Now I see why this specific type of people are coming together. And that's the beauty of
yeah.
serendipity, that you can't plan looking forward.
Yeah, I think I say this all the time. Like, even just life can only be understood backwards. Like, it usually, like, nothing makes sense in the moment. And it's always like when you watch when you look back on your life, it's like, oh, that's why I had to go through this season. That's why I was placed here and why I connected with that person. Okay, that makes sense. So,
Mm.
yeah, I love that you have that moment when you're in the room and you're seeing everyone and yeah, it's just making sense, like the mission of Yes We Trust, everything that you've built. So what are your biggest goals for the next few years?
I see it super clear in front of my eyes. I'm already living in the reality where we have educated 1 million humans worldwide, created 1,000 impactful startups out of it. If we have 1 million paying customers, we're going to educate 2 million humans because we're going to donate a scholarship for somebody in a development country. I was chatting with my aunt recently and a gentleman from Africa. She has an NGO project in South Africa. And I really would love to go soon down and just educate a group of young people about School of Impact, entrepreneurship, finding purpose, because I think education is such a powerful thing, and it can be a quantum leap if you make it accessible. So
Yeah.
back to the question, it's about making individual quality education worldwide accessible, shaping and educating the next generation of leaders, continue to build a powerful network of capital from people who want to invest in young founders,
Mhm.
and continue to build up the brand of Yes We Trust. I want to be known for the place number one when it comes to finding purpose and experiencing trust, and stay healthy along the way, and continue to build up the team with amazing humans, and enjoy the journey. And because so often we are chasing from one goal to the next, not realizing that 5 years ago you prayed for the moment you're in today, right? And
Mm,
just being present, being healthy, and continue to inspire and empower.
beautiful. And if someone like resonates with the mission of Yes We Trust, wants to get involved, we talked a little bit about the entry points. Let's say they are an investor and would just, love to invest in projects and into Yes We Trust as well. Is there a fundraising round going on, or how can you participate or join?
Right. We have currently a fundraising route open. That's why also the people that we've invited in Portugal, it's for us like a vetting process to really get to
Mm,
know each other and understand, hey, is this somebody we want to also enter a relationship with? And definitely, yes, I love to come in contact with people who can be amplifiers. There are different people we talk with right now who could be super valuable for the journey ahead. Might be as mentors, as event partners, as community partner, or real estate partner. So yes, always love to connect with good people with good intentions, and also the projects that we are supporting. I mean, long term, the plan is that we, by ourselves, with Yes We Trust, can invest in projects, but also investors through our platform, after going to a KYC and AML process, can directly invest in promising ventures. So, but also here, I want to make a message. It's less about the quantity of investors that we are looking for, but more about the quality,
mm,
and I think we speak less to traditional VCs. I think we speak more to family offices, angel investors, and that this is what we look to have on our platform.
nice. Yeah, I guess investors, people that are aligned with the overall mission and vision of investing in purpose-driven founders in mission-based, impact-based startups, and yeah, that are also going to be highly profitable. But yeah, I think it's like there's a disconnect, right, between like profit and impact, and yeah, what you're building and the network you have and the people that are involved is like there are investors out there that do care about of course having
Mhm.
an ROI, but also care about having impact. um, and the
Definitely.
same with founders. It's like there are so many amazing impact founders, but a lot of times they don't know where to go and are overlooked maybe. So yeah, bringing those on the stage, that's really amazing.
Yes. I said it a few times, and I'm going to say it again. I wish that we live in a world where impact investing is not seen as charity.
Mm,
I wish that impact investing is more profitable than traditional investing, and that's what we want to achieve. That investors can invest in early stage founders who have a multiple return of investment, and are still creating good for humanity and society.
yeah, that's huge. That is has become the vision and mission of Yes We Trust, which I think is quite rare to see. What excites you most about the future?
I mean, what I really love and enjoy is when I connect people digitally or physically to see what happens out of it. It's really something that excites me, or to see. And I recently was making a joke that we have so many beautiful singles in our network. Maybe we should open up a side company called Yes We Love, and connect beautiful singles with each other. so I really love to connect people. Might be on a personal level, but also on a business level. So that excites me. What excites me is the opening of the resort in Kopangan, where we're going to open up the first hub. The future hubs that we're going to build might be in Portugal, Switzerland, or other places. I'm excited about every human being who joins the School of Impact, and we can see a personal transformation. Um, yeah, that's what excites me the most.
Beautiful. And you kind of said it already, but maybe in a short form, what is the legacy with all of this that you hope to leave behind?
The legacy is that we have an alternative, that people are not forced to live in a world that they don't want to live in,
Mm,
that they don't live a life that they don't want to, yeah, spend. It's really about to empower people to think beyond, to live beyond, to live our wildest dreams, and to look back one day and say, "Wow, that was a life, and I did something well. I had purpose in life. I inspired others. I gave back, and yeah, open. Maybe we just open up the door for the next generation. When I started Yeswetrust 10 years ago, I really believed we're going to change the world in a year, and today I know it's a lifetime
mm,
journey, and maybe we just open up the door for the next generation. And so it's really about thinking long term. I mean, what inspires me about the ruler of Dubai is he rules his country like a CEO, and he has a 50-year plan. He is not just thinking short term. So really looking into the future and saying, okay, if I plant a tree now, maybe also if I'm not going to enjoy the fruits or the shadow, what am I leaving for the next generation? And yeah, I really love to create a spark in human beings, just to give them a little hint in the right direction, and to let them think beyond. Because what I believe deeply, Uma, is I believe we are infinite beings. We are infinite powerful. We can create whatever we allow ourselves to imagine. And the only thing that stops us are our own limits that we got imprinted as children. That's why also it's so crucial that we start from a young age to focus on the gifts and the talents of young people and not try to put them into a box. Yeah.
absolutely agree. And I also think that what just kind of came into my mind as you said that is um, if I had to sum everything up in terms of the entrepreneurial journey, it's going back to this putting faith over fear. It's, stepping into the unknown sometimes, taking a leap of faith, um, doing something that might be perceived as a risk when it's really the biggest risk that you can take is, I think, to not move at all or to just stay in a place that is not your path, is not the way, and that you have more to give, that there's more potential, right? It's like um I heard it somewhere, right, where people were asked, like, in their last days on Earth, like, what's the biggest regret you have? And they just, said that the biggest regret is not going for something. And it's never having a regret about something, but it's more about having a regret of not doing something, right? So, yeah, going for it. And the beauty of it is that now you don't have to be alone because other people have walked the path, and you can learn from others, and there is a support system. But yeah, for someone who is, if you just really feel back into this like old version of you who was
Mhm.
building and trying, but not really getting there, like what is some words of encouragement maybe that you could give founders who are
Mhm.
currently struggling or haven't found their path yet?
Mhm. First, I would say for the people who are stuck in 9 to 5 and don't dare to think about breaking out, hey guys, what is the worst thing that can happen? That you're gonna try it, and in 5, 10 years, or in 3 years, you go back to corporate. I mean, we have a net that don't let you fall, especially in Switzerland and Europe. So, what is the worst case scenario that can happen? And if you try, if you dare to dream, and what I really would encourage people when they are at their journey is find a big why enough that keeps you on track along the journey. If your why is not big enough, you're going to quit. You're going to not make it through the rock bottom hard moments. So really think about what is one specific challenge problem in the world that you want to see solved, and then try to think about how you can find a solution for it. Find the right people, find people who believe in you, who want to support you, who want to invest in you, who maybe have the same drive and purpose, right? So you can unite and walk together on this mission. And don't allow the world to tell you who you are and what you're capable of to do.
Wow. Yeah, I absolutely resonate with that. Um, Now you already mentioned a lot. I wanted to ask you, like, if people remember just one thing from the conversation today, what would it be? You said a lot, but is there like one thing that for you really stands out that is like the one thing you feel like is the most important for people to understand, to whether know about themselves, no matter kind of what um, journey or what stage of the journey they're on?
Mhm. For a long time of 10 years journey as you trust, I believed that for 4 years out of 10 years, the first 4 years, I believed I had this ego limitation that I have to rescue the world, that I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, until I crashed on the floor at my mom's place because I created such a headache and such a stress in my nervous system. And when I was laying down on this floor and I thought, okay, I'm gonna die now, there was this deep sense of peace and love. And that made me realize that you cannot deserve God's love. God loves you unconditionally. It's mercy. It's 24/7, like the sun, constantly. So we should feel loved all the time. We cannot deserve God's love, no matter what you're going to build, no matter what you're going to do. So it's really about to feel loved, to feel the peace that faith gives you, and to create out of this feeling, and not to think you have to do something, you have to become something, you have to create something. And yeah, I would say that's the one thing I would leave with the audience.
Yeah, I love that. And it's something that I definitely want to and need to remind myself of all the time is like, you are loved, and that's really all there is. And then in between, there's levels and layers in which we can create, and we are created in the image of God, so we are creators. What's the purpose of a creator? It is to create, it is expression, it is doing. And so, just being vehicles, using your vessel, but in a playful way where you're doing it not from I have to and I must, and doing it from a state of I do it because I can, because I've been blessed to be here on planet Earth and, surrounded by amazing people during this time with technology. How incredible is it, right? And from that place, we can just create incredible things, and we can move mountains, we can create change in the world. But it really comes from that place. So totally love and resonate with that message, going back to love. So yeah. Thank you so much, Stefan, for being vulnerable, honest, sharing your wisdom, going deep. Yeah, I think a lot of times we're having conversations and it's we're talking about a subject, about business, but
Mhm.
really what I mentioned before as well, it's like you build the business, but in order to build the business, you have to become the person. And so it's so valuable to understand who you are as at a core. Yeah, thank you. It's a huge honor, to be able to interview you, get to know you on a deeper level, share this with people, not just inspire, but hopefully also plant some seeds for people to move in the right direction. And yeah, if people want to connect and speak with you or the Yes We Trust family, they want to hear more, know more, where can they find Yes We Trust, find more?
LinkedIn, Insta, social media, webpage, just the known platforms.
Yes, and we have a lot more coming. We're just getting started. Um,
Yes. Uma, thank you so much, first of all, for all the value that you bring to the table in Yes We Trust. Uma is the reason we have started this live stream. So kudos to you, to force me to stand in front of the camera and to do this every Tuesday. And I really believe it's such a valuable thing. We have such a powerful network of people and sharing their wisdom. and make it accessible for young founders. So yes, Uma, thank you so much for changing the tables today. And we see each other next Tuesday, 7 p.m. for the next live stream session. Until then, lots of success, guys. Uma, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. See you next Tuesday.